Hey, Mark Walters here, and in this video I want to share some more negotiation strategies with you. But first, when you have a bowl of fruit that is a little past its prime, get yourself one motivated and willing potbelly pig and make their day by giving them the fruit. What do you think, Ginger? Is that good? Well, that's not a negotiation strategy, but it is one way to make a happy potbelly pig's day, for sure. Well, good. Well, we're off to a good start, right? Okay. Well, in this video, I want to share some more negotiation strategies. Now, the first thing to realize is that you need to create value, either from the standpoint of a seller or the standpoint of a buyer. And the way that you do that is by being firm. And by doing that, you're really letting somebody know a couple of things. One, what you think the value of whatever it is you're negotiating over is. And two, maybe what your position is from a monetary standpoint as well. Have you ever negotiated with somebody who's just firm? There is no budging from the get-go, and you realize, gosh, I'm probably not going to get anywhere with this person. At least that's your first thought, because this person is very firm in their beliefs about whatever it is you're negotiating. So simply adopt that type of mindset when you are selling something or when you are buying something. In other words, you're thinking, look, I'm interested in this. I have a value in my mind of what this is worth. And guess what? I'm not going to budge. I'm not going to go any further. I'm not going to give you the idea that I'm even willing to negotiate. If you've ever been in a position where you've negotiated or tried to with somebody like that, you realize from the get-go that there may not be any wiggle room whatsoever. So that really puts the advantage with them. So you want to adopt that type of a mindset when you're doing negotiations, when you're offering something. Same thing when you want to buy something. You want to establish your thought of what the value of that item is by how you are responding to the seller. You might be thinking, look, this is only worth this to me. I don't want to spend any more money than this. This is it. If you are interested in selling whatever it is you want, you better just take what I'm offering right now, because this is all it's worth to me. So that is the value. That is your perspective from the buying side. So you're really letting them know, look, I don't want to bargain. I don't want to barter, I should say. You always want to bargain, obviously, but you may not be willing to budge at all. And then, of course, if you really do want that item, in situations like that, you might budge, but only a little bit. Being a seller, you might only come down just a little bit. Hold on, we need to do a piggy update because I can hear some stuff going on down here. Can you believe that? We've got an empty bowl already, and that's how it's done. Way to go, Ginger. Terrific. So, have you also ever negotiated with somebody that's only come down a little bit? So they're a seller, you want to have them come down a whole lot, and they only budge a little bit. Well, what are they telling you in a situation like that? Well, pretty much that they are very firm. That if you're going to be able to get them down much more, it's not going to be much. So again, adopt that philosophy that, look, if I'm going to come down at all, it's only going to be a little bit. Same thing with when you're a buyer. You're letting them know, it's like if you're going to come up halfway, like a lot of times people do, well then of course the other person's going to think, well, if I can do this one or two more times, I'm going to get them to come up halfway and halfway and halfway. You know, that's not so good, because obviously you're going to be spending a lot more, or if you're the seller, you're going to be coming down a lot more. But if you budge just a little bit, then you're letting them know from the get-go that, look, I am really close to the price either that you're offering when you're the buyer or the price that you've listed an item for when you're the seller. And if you budge just a little bit, you're going to let them know, look, I do not want for this to go much further than where it already is, which is great. That's a great position to be in, because a lot of times negotiations, they might only go back 2, maybe 3 times because of the emotions involved with the people on each side. The person that's more in control of their emotions during this time frame, well, they have a better chance of winning because the other party their emotions are, well, gosh, I really want this. I don't like negotiating. I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to insult the other person. Have you ever felt those feelings? Well, listen, this is business. This isn't personal. You just want to get the best deal that you can get when you're buying, and you want to get the best price you can get when you're selling. So just realize that if you can just hold out for just a little bit of potential discomfort inside, it can make a huge difference. So what we've covered so far is really important. The other thing is to not talk so much. A lot of times people get nervous and they're going to talk, and they're going to put themselves in a position that they might not want to be in. And afterwards they might say, gosh, why did I say those things? Why didn't I just keep my mouth shut? So listen a lot. Don't show a lot of emotion with your face. Enjoy this process and enjoy the silence, because that potentially is going to make the other party very uncomfortable, which is okay. This is negotiation. They want to get as much money from you as possible, or they want to get you to come down in price, depending on whether you're the buyer or the seller. So let them know from the get-go that whatever it is you're trying to sell has a lot of value. You're really not going to come down much, if you come down at all. Don't talk a whole lot. Let them know that, look, they might be losing the deal. Regardless of what side of this negotiation you're on, the buyer or the seller, let them realize that this is where you feel the price should be. You're willing to walk, and silence. Make them feel like, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose this deal. Because chances are, if they're in the negotiation, they want whatever it is to go their way, because they want the deal to go together. So if you're quiet, they're going to start thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose this deal. I really want this deal. Okay, I'm going to speak up. I'll do what they want because I want this to go together. That's terrific. You're doing very little. You're not having to be crafty with your words. You're not having to manipulate in any way as far as the things you say. You don't want to manipulate anyway, but you certainly wouldn't mind influencing. And the great thing is, if you're just quiet, if your silence can help influence the other person to do what it is you want, what could be better? So there are some strategies that you can start to think about, start to practice, and be firm from the get-go, so the other party realizes that there was someone who's firm, who's not going to budge, and they need to relinquish whatever it is they're holding on to so that they can make this deal go together. I'm Mark Walters, and until next time, I look forward to sharing more with you very soon. And there she goes. Looking for more food somewhere else. Good girl. Good girl. Good piggy. Did you like that? Was that good? Good.